Welcome to the Black Girls Den podcast, where womanhood meets media. I am your host, Alicia, and today I am excited because I get to interview Alyson Fouse, TV creator and producer of the hit show Act Your Age, which is a Bounce original series that made its way to Netflix. It follows three women, Bernadette, Keisha, and Angela. They are making the rest of their lives the best of their lives as roommates in a penthouse Bernadette owns in the DMV, looking at what it means to be a woman in the prime of her life. Okay, so everybody welcome her in the comments. Before we get really into it, though, I'm going to read her bio so y'all can know a little bit about her background, okay? She is a writer from Compton, California, who got the attention of Keenan Ivory Wayans through a sketch she wrote for a radio station, which led to being staffed on the Keenan Ivory Wayans show. She was a writer for the animated series Good Times. She's worked on several sitcoms, including Everybody Hates Chris, My Wife and Kids, Wanda at Large, and The Cool Kids. On the film side, she's written for Scary Movie and credited for writing Scary Movie 2, Bring It On, All or Nothing, Bring It On, In It to Win It, Bring It On, Fight to the Finish, Honey 2, Reality Crew, Bring It On Worldwide, and received story by credit for Bring It On, Cheer or Die. Before Hollywood came calling, Alyson worked at Cal State University, Long Beach, in the Office of Admissions and Records while studying creative writing and African American studies. Alyson considers her greatest accomplishment as a single working mother doing all of this to be maintaining her sanity without committing any major felonies. I thought that line was funny. So let's welcome her to the den. Thank you for joining tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You are welcome. With the Cal State University, you watched Grownish, correct? Did you watch Grownish?
Yeah.
I was like, don't they kind of talk about Cal State? Is that what school she went to? Like a fictional school?
Yeah, there are several Cal State universities in the program, and I think
Mhm.
they did use that.
Yeah. I was like, I remember Cal State being like a fictional school. So yeah, that's so funny. That's so cool. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. You definitely have a lot under your belt, so that is very exciting. I definitely enjoy sitcoms. So when I watched your show, I was like, "Woo, this is a great show." We're missing sitcoms out here. I need the networks to hear that. We need some more sitcoms, but we can only do what we can do. So I want to take it back a little when you first thought about your show idea. What was either happening in the world or in your life that you were like, we need to make this show like right now?
Well, the way it came about is Bounce approached me
Oh.
that they had a very loose idea of the kind of show they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I was between gigs, and I said, well, if I'm going to do a show, I want to do a show that I feel good about and that I want to tell the story. And I knew I wanted female leads. So I basically came up with these three characters by dividing myself into three people and
Oh.
who I had been at certain times in my life and who I wanted to be. Angela was a big part of my mother, but we
Mm-hmm.
all become our mothers.
Mm-hmm.
That was easy. Yvette Nicole Brown is a huge muse for me. I've followed her career for a long time. But anyway, I took that tactic and just went for it. I said, well, I might as well just pitch on it and see what happens.
Hmm.
And I came up with a story and a show, and they liked it. And we got 16 episodes.
Yes, I definitely love that. Angela does not play. So I definitely can see how that is a mama tendency. Okay. She is not playing in the season. I was so sad. I was like, it's only 16 episodes. I need more. I need more seasons.
We would have loved to have given them to you too.
Yes, and I love that it's like a different perspective too, because we don't really get that many shows in the DMV, or what I see, we don't really get that many shows in the DMV. Is there a reason why you chose that area?
Well, that was one of the requirements that
Oh.
Bucks had. And I love the idea of it because it was like sort of a political arena.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that issues would come up that they could confront. And I hadn't seen a show in that area myself. So I thought, well, great, let's do it. It felt fresh and
Mm-hmm.
different perspective.
Yeah.
so why not?
Mhm. I said, "Okay, Bernadette in the penthouse." I love it, okay?
Yeah.
So, the whole, the whole premise of the show, navigating friendships and things like that, living together. I wanted to know how you approach writing conflict between friends in a way that felt honest but not destructive.
Well, look, at this age, I use a lot of my life experience.
Mhm.
And I had a friendship, or we had a
Mhm.
group of friends rather, and one of those friends brought in somebody else. And we didn't like really click with her in the beginning. So we
Mhm.
would do this thing, that's your friend. It's like every time someone comes, you better go get your friend, that kind of thing. And I thought that relationship was really interesting. I mean, we're really cool with the girl now, but I thought if I introduced Angela and Keisha that way, that the only
Mhm.
reason they were in the same room together was because of Bernadette. Both of them love Bernadette.
Mhm.
Thought people might recognize that
Mhm.
as happening to them. So we started there, and it gave me an opportunity to start with the relationship somewhat from the beginning and
Yeah.
watch it grow.
Oh yeah, I really do like that. I was like, did your friend group watch the show? Did they pick up on anything? That's funny. But even from that perspective, that's like a fresh new perspective too, because you usually often see the friends like they know each other, they've been around each other, and like this one is like they only know each other from other people, and that's real life though. So that's a real story, and so that's really funny. I like that
Yeah.
because Angela and Keisha, they were going back and forth. But I really, really love like the actresses in real life too. So I love that part too. What is something you think about womanhood that we've normalized, but the show challenges?
Well, what I love about having them at the age they were is they'd experienced life.
Mm.
We put them in a situation where financially they were okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave them a bit of security to take some chances.
Mm.
And they're even at this age, it's like, "Yeah, we're not dead yet. Why not go for it?" They
Mm.
just have lessons that they've learned. And I think, well, I know at a certain age, you become a lot braver
Mm-hmm.
than you have been. And I wanted women to feel that, you
Oh.
know, I wanted
Mhm.
them to know that you eventually do come into your own and that your opinions matter, your life experience matters. As women, sometimes we just get too involved in, not too involved, but we get used to always taking care of others
Mm-hmm.
and honestly don't take care of ourselves enough. And sometimes we get the courage to do that through our friendships. So, and lifelong friendships can support through a manner of things,
Mm-hmm.
so much. So I just want to see womanhood in all its phases, good, bad, ugly, funny, whatever it is. It's all,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, I definitely love that. When I thought about this, I was like, you don't really see that many. Now it's getting bigger, but even like the co-living, like the arrangement, the living arrangement is very interesting. So that stood out to me too because I mean, Bernadette was supposed to get married and that did not work out. And a lot of people they call off their weddings, they call off their engagements. So that's real life. But then to have your friends be there to support you going through that, I thought that was really, really cool, a really cool perspective. And then just seeing like they're single, navigating, but they're living together, and then all the ups and downs. It's just like, okay, I can see this.
And why not? People ask, well, if they have money, why are they living together? Why not? We see how beautiful and huge that penthouse was. And, penthouse means she has a whole top floor. Her son had been gone a couple years and they had a good time together. Everybody, there was enough space for three women to live there together.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was gonna say. It highlighted community to me because usually people are like, "Well, why don't you just live by yourself? Why would I live by myself when we could put our resources together? We can do more, and then we also have community. We also have friendship. So I really like that layer too. It was given college, but without the school. Like we're living together, we're doing things together, but we have our own money. So I really enjoyed that perspective of it as well. What does representation look like to you as a storyteller?
I think it should look like the world.
Mm.
I don't walk through my day and just see one kind of person. And I believe, especially when it comes to Black women, we
Mhm.
need to be represented in more ways than one, beyond the stereotypes. Um, and as far as just women are concerned, we need to know there are other women out there than somebody, the housewives from wherever the hell. I'm curbing my language. I don't know if you can cuss here, but
Right.
I wanted, I believe that women, especially Black women,
Mhm.
haven't been shown in our full spectrum. And
Yeah.
any chance I get to do that, I do that.
Mhm.
And Black men as well. You
Mhm.
know, growing up in Compton, as you said, I got to experience all kinds of people. It
Mhm.
was mostly a Black community, but
Mhm.
no two people are the same.
Mhm.
Nobody's going through the same thing. So I think representation, well, I know representation is important. I had
Mhm.
an exec try to explain to me one time, he tried to redefine representation,
Mm.
diversity or whatever. The term annoys me, but he said, "Oh, it's not just about race anymore. We just want to see people in different environments." And I said, "Okay, I don't believe that to be true. And what I do know is people want to see someone who looks like them,
Mhm.
relate to their story, where they come from, high or low. So if that's what you're talking about, I'm in. Otherwise, don't just try to color it in a way that fits you.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's important. You got to see it to be it.
Yeah. Most definitely, yeah. And so it's so sad because just listening to stories and you're not the first person, but talking to people, it's just like the execs never see what you're saying. Like it's just like it doesn't always land. But it was great to see three women who did Keisha. She didn't have any kids, did she?
No, she didn't have any children.
You didn't have any kids, and that really wasn't even I don't that wasn't a big topic on there, but to just know, there's child free people who raise their kids, they're ready to live their life, and they all have money and different things like that. That is like something to like aspire to, as in like somebody who's in their 20s or 30s watching it, or even in the 50s. Like people are like, oh, I want to move, or I want to do something, I want to have community. Why don't I just hit up my friends and see if we want to, like buy something together and like live in a house together, right?
Yeah,
Usually what you see is you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. So I think that is representation is very important. So
yeah. And I think more women are choosing not to have kids.
mm-hmm.
It's the same way that women choose not to marry. I
Mm-hmm.
think if you want to live your life and you know how you want to live it, I have a couple of friends like that. And trust me, they're living well. They have nieces and nephews that they can spend time with, but then they can take them home or drop them off or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
they still have their own life. So it all depends. I think you need to show different people like that. I think in one of the episodes, Keisha mentions that she thanks God she never had no kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey,
Yeah, and it's like it's out there. I was gonna ask you too. I mean, I know it's a show, so I was just like, was the reason to kind of get them? It was for the wedding, but did you choose that? Like, did you choose that part of how to get them together was for the wedding? Is
yeah,
that okay?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the story. And what they originally thought they were coming for is Bernadette said she was getting the key to the city because she's a big
Oh.
developer, and
Mhm.
that wouldn't be surprising for them. So they were showing up to represent their friend, or support their friend.
Mhm.
And then she sprung the wedding on them.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was like, I know the show had to come. Okay, that makes sense. Yes, because Bernadette is literally like you said, a developer. She got tenants and everything, and that man is stressing her out. Okay, I love that. What responsibility, if any, do you feel when creating stories that reflect the community?
I more than I don't know if I'm saying this right, but more than the community, I want to reflect how I was raised.
Mm.
And both my parents are gone now,
Oh.
but I never want to be an embarrassment to them.
Mhm.
And not only that, I can only really reflect what I've lived. So
Mm.
when truth comes through that, that's the community I was raised in.
Mhm.
I'm not going to disrespect that. That would be disrespecting my past. But community is also what you make. It's not just your location. So those kind of things I take into consideration. And look, we got enough problems. That's why I'm in comedy. I appreciate drama. I love it. I watch it.
Mhm.
But when I'm doing a show, I especially want to make people feel good about who they are and where they're from.
Mhm.
Never any shame about that. So, we have representation from all points of life.
Mhm.
And I think that's important to me.
Yeah.
I love Compton. I still
Mhm.
rep CPT. Like,
Okay.
don't get it twisted. Some of my best friends I grew up with and met in Compton, and we're still close to this day. So
Oh.
that's always going to be my heart.
Mhm.
But, there are people who feel like that who live elsewhere,
Mhm.
in Mississippi or Beverly Hills or wherever. If you found community there, that says a lot about who you are and how you want to go forth in your life.
Yeah, I was like, people do rep their cities a lot. I've never been to Compton, but isn't it's like right outside of, is it like right outside of LA?
It's
Or,
a hub city. It's like a suburb.
oh.
And LA is so huge. I'd say,
Mhm.
depending on traffic,
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes away. And
Uh,
it's right in the middle of everything. Like it borders Long Beach, Carson, LA,
mhm.
Watts, all the cities around it. Um,
Oh.
so, we have to go through one of them to get to a beach. you
Okay,
know,
okay. And Inglewood is not on that same side then, right?
no, Inglewood is
Oh,
near the airport. It's not too far,
okay.
but it's all, in that area.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the geography. Only reason why I know Compton is because of the game.
What game? Oh, the show, the game.
No, the
Yeah.
rapper.
Oh, okay.
The rapper. Oh no, no, not even because of that. But they was in California. I love the game, but yeah, no. And so he talks about Compton. Somebody
Yeah.
else talks about Compton. I forgot though. Oh, like NWA and like just just Compton. So I just know it about that, but I never been there. So I was like, I don't even know what the relation is to what parts of the city.
Yeah. Some people are surprised when they get there. They're like, you have well manicured lawns and houses. I was like, what were you expecting?
Yeah, the way they talk about it though, that's probably why they
Yeah.
talk about it different.
And that's unfortunate because there are a lot of good things that have come out of Compton. And it's funny when I got in this business, I met a lot of people who were from there,
Mm, mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of great things have come out of Compton.
Well, yes, we love that. Do you have a favorite character on the show?
Oh, I've never been asked that question.
Oh.
I love them all for different reasons. Like I
Mhm,
said, I took myself and divided her into three different people. I love the creativity of Keisha
mhm.
because on the page in the pilot, I called Tisha and said, "Look, I want you for this part
Oh my
because
god.
I know that you would color it so well." And
Mhm.
she did. And as soon as she started reading it, I was like, she is more than just a woman who's been married twice, wild and crazy. I was like, watching her work, I was like, she's an artist.
Mhm.
Came up with that when we started shooting. I was like, she's creative, she's daring, she's bold, all that I love. I love Bernadette. And I told Kim, because Kim was like, I don't know, because we got Kim last minute because we had to go through some other stuff. I said,
Mhm.
Kim, I know you can do this part because you're already doing it. You're a single mother who works hard. That's
Mhm.
who Bernadette is. And that's who I was. She
Mm.
was worried about playing the straight character. I said, nothing more. I like nothing more than a straight character who's funny. And Kim
Oh.
embodied all of that.
Mhm.
Yvette, like I said, she has been my muse forever. I've been trying to work with her, and luckily, I worked with her on this and one other project. And we sort of have a shorthand when we
Mhm.
talk and dealing with each other. There's a great respect there, and we've become really good friends since being able to work together. And it was so funny. I didn't realize that I was writing my mother until right before we started shooting. And Yvette walked into my office, and for a split second, I saw my mother.
Mm.
I was like, oh, and I never told Yvette that. Well, I didn't tell her in the beginning.
Mhm.
Her gestures and everything were exactly like my mother. And
Oh
the way she reacted without any coaching, that's just the
mhm.
character she embodied.
Mhm.
I love the kids too. You know, they still had a lot of growing to do. And I
Mhm.
love that Olivia thought she knew everything.
Yes.
You know, she always had a plan. And I love that Jacob was trying to find himself.
He was so salty. Olivia was not going for him. He was so salty about that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, so okay, tell us a little bit more about it. That's so cool. You were able to kind of like pick who you wanted to kind of like do the roles.
Yeah, for the uh, three main women, yes. They
Mm,
were all on my short list to work with. Tisha and Yvette, I had worked, and I worked with Kim a little bit.
mm-hmm.
But I knew what they could do. So they were all on my short list. And so right away, we got Yvette and Tisha on board. And then the network wanted to put somebody else in. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'd rather have Kim.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, but I was trying to compromise, because this business is about collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
And the day when I thought I was going to lose that battle, I said, "Look, Lord, if it's your will, it'll be done." You know, and again, luckily that other person couldn't do it, and
Mm-hmm.
we got him on the phone right away. I mean, Yvette and Tisha called her and was like, "Look, you doing this," you know, and she basically got on board the weekend before we started shooting.
Oh my gosh, that's so quick.
Yeah. Um, Now, Mariah and Nathan, they auditioned. And I worked with Nate before.
Oh.
Mariah, she was one of the first few people we saw.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, am I crazy? She was like maybe the second or third person I saw. But her audition, I was telling my co-EP, Renata Shepherd, I said, I might be crazy, but she's it.
Yeah.
Like they were like, don't you want to see some more people? I was like, no, it's her. Like I just knew it.
Yeah.
For Nathan's character, we had seen some people and they just weren't quite it. And I worked with him on All About the Washingtons a few
Mm.
years ago. And I asked the casting director, contact him and see if he's available.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened he was.
Oh my
And it
god.
was great because when he said in his audition, it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Nate has this way of being just a little vulnerable in
Uh-huh.
acting, and it is delicious.
Yeah.
I don't need arrogance and all that kind of because I need him to play real, and nobody's
Mm-hmm.
that secure in what they're doing in life, especially at that age.
Mm-hmm.
So he was again. I lucked up on my cast because they were all perfect.
Yeah, it was.
Wonderful to watch the younger ones look at the older cast and learn some things. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody was very giving in their advice and stuff. Oh, it was fantastic.
Yes, and I know it's a comedy, and I do love comedies, but it still kind of gave me like that sitcom kind of feel a little bit, like what we're talking about. That was early, and every time I think about Tisha Kim, I'm like sitcom. My wife and kids, Mark. Like I'm just like the sitcom girl. Like that's even though she's done more, but I just remember her on there. I was like, oh yes, I was like, this is good. I felt their chemistry was very good. The three of them, and then the kids. I thought that bringing the kids in was kind of funny. He was trying to be protective about his mom getting married, and then but it also highlighted talking about like secrets and stuff like that. I was like, oh, it's people keep secrets from their parents, keep secrets from their kids. So I was like, oh, okay. That's why I was kind of sad because I was like, if we, got more like we could have really delved deeper into that. So, but we're not gonna cry over that. But I
Yeah.
was just like, I really enjoyed that part. I wanted to ask you, what part of this story do you feel like is a love letter to Black women?
Just the way we showed up. Like honestly, just there are a few episodes that I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember before we even started shooting, I picked my wardrobe woman because in her presentation, I saw the characters. It wasn't gimmicky. It wasn't about labels. It was like she took each personality and showed me an example of what they'd be wearing, and she nailed it. Nailed it. And then with the that was Allison Fanger, and then with the lady who built the set, she did the same thing.
Mm.
Oh God, I'm forgetting her name. Please forgive me. But look it up on IMDb.
Okay.
And you'll give her credit.
Okay.
She showed me an example of where there would be living, and I
Mm.
and I knew that we were right because when the show started airing, people started tweeting or sending posts about this looks really good. And it was
Mhm.
a set that felt good and felt like it had air. And it you put black people in those sets and they look like they belong there. And it
Mhm.
gets people accustomed to seeing that. Now,
Yes.
look, if I had written a show where they were living in a small two-bedroom apartment in the middle of Watts, that's fine too. But you know what? I would have wanted that to look special to them.
Mhm.
I don't care where you are, what the setting is. I want it to look like it's your best and you've earned it. And I
Mhm.
think sight unseen and Mark, who did my lighting, was fantastic. The very first scene was the very first scene we shot. And I knew it was dangerous because it was just two people in an elevator. And it's
Mhm.
like, that's not the smartest for introducing the world. But when the cameras came on, and like I said, the wardrobe, makeup, and hair was fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, and the way he lit just an elevator, I thought right away, I was like, oh, we got something.
Yes.
Made me proud. And
Uh-huh.
I wanted that to bleed out, to the audience for them to see that because that's what we did. We had a good time, we had fun, and we loved what we were doing. It was for a small network. We didn't know if anybody else was going to see it, but I think people felt the love through the camera.
Mhm. A lot of people seen it. I see how many you watched the debut. So a lot of people seen it. It was so cool to even be able to see that. How did that make you feel? That how many people seen it because you were so surprised?
Yeah, I felt like, while you're doing it, your head is down and you're working, but I was happy that they got to experience that. I didn't go in trying to break records for bounce or whatever. We
Mhm.
did,
Oh.
but
Mhm.
yeah, it was the largest audience they'd ever had.
Oh.
And but it felt good to know that our hard work was getting out there and
Mhm.
that touching people and that they returned for every episode.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Because it was I watched it on Netflix, so I watched it all the way through. But on Bounce, it was like, was it every week or something like that, or was
It
it?
was it was every week, and
Mhm.
then we had breaks in between.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that they came back was fantastic. And
Mhm.
then by the
Like,
time we hit Netflix, that just blew the audience
yeah.
wide open. We talk a lot about representing Black people and everything, but we were surprised. Well, the ladies were surprised. They'd be somewhere and white people would come up to them.
Mhm.
People would go, like, oh, I love your show. And they were like,
Yes.
just a wide audience, which
Mhm.
goes to show that people like a funny and
Yeah.
well produced show.
Mhm.
My line producer, Ken, one of the first things he told me when I met him is, I promise you, when they close the door, the walls won't shake. And I was like, I'm in
Mhm.
because you don't want your set to look cheap.
Yeah.
And
That
ours looked amazing.
it did. It looks so good. Yes, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any questions? Yes, make sure y'all support the channel and like it. Yeah, I think it was good. So that's why I was like, I seen it on Netflix. So I just watched it like honestly, me and my friend, we just watched it like I watched it in 2 days. It came to Netflix like in 2024, I
I
think.
think so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's when it was. Yeah. I like watched it. I was like, oh my gosh, I was telling my friends, like, we need to watch it. Like, it's giving me sitcom vibes, stuff like that. So I really was like, oh dang. But knowing that it was on Bounce first, can you tell people maybe if they don't know what Bounce is, like what Bounce is? Bounce
It's
TV.
a small network. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know where to find Bounce on my own TV when they approached me.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I could either go staff on another show or take a shot on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. And I had done another show. Bounce is a small cable network. TV1 is the same. And
Yeah.
my friend sold the show Born Again Virgin to TV1.
Mhm.
And she asked me to come run it for her. And I was like, cool. So I worked with a small network before. And that show, Born Again Virgin, became a hit for TV1.
Oh,
So I
okay.
kind of knew what we were dealing with, but Bounce promised me, and my producer, uh, Brad, promised me that we could shoot in LA. They gave me no reason to say no,
Oh, okay,
you
okay.
know, and this is how I make my living. So
Yeah.
somebody's offering me a gig. I can hire the people I want to, ship
Mhm.
off to home.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. There was no reason not to do it. I would have been an idiot not to do it.
Mhm.
Told my cast and crew, you know, we're working for a small network, but while we're here, we're going to have a good time.
Mhm.
Going to make it worth it. We shot 2 shows a week, which is a hell of a schedule.
Oh.
But it got to the point where the cast, the crew, everybody was like, I know it's hard work, but we look forward to coming here every day
Mhm.
because we laughed and we enjoyed it. There was no people with bad attitudes and stuff. And
Mhm.
that, the kind of show I like to run.
Yeah, so it took y'all like 2 months to, film it?
Yeah, it takes a little longer beforehand to write,
Oh, mhm.
but I think you're right. I think we
Yeah.
shot in like 8 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8 weeks, mhm. How long did it take you to write it?
Well, they give you to write the pilot didn't take very long, aside
Mhm.
from notes and stuff like that. But then you get a room full of writers. You hire writers. Thank you. You hire writers, and you get. I think they gave us that first 12 weeks,
Oh,
and
okay.
that was before production started.
Mhm.
I got to barter a few extra weeks to add on to that, because I wanted to keep my staff around so we could keep improving the show.
Mhm.
Yeah, but shows, at least streamers and small cable networks, they don't give you a lot of time.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. That sounded pretty quick. So
Yeah.
now it's still on Bounce though. So the whole reason why I was like, we need to kind of talk about this early because we know it's leaving Netflix, and that's mainly what people are on. And to your point, it's a wide audience. So I'm really sad to hear that it's leaving Netflix May 22nd, but I really wanted to have you on. So if people haven't heard about the show or don't know, to make sure to watch it before it leaves. It's 16 episodes, so I want to make sure that people know about it and people are able to watch it. But even after this, are they able to still watch it on Bounce TV or?
I know occasionally they'll do an actor age marathon,
Okay, okay.
stuff like that. And somebody told me I think you can still download it on Amazon or something like that. I'm not sure. And maybe Bounce will license it to somewhere else. But for right now, you can catch it on Netflix. Uh,
Oh.
Bounce, I think occasionally it's not in the main rotation because they have other
Mhm,
shows.
mhm.
Um, and yeah,
Oh, it's a licensing thing. Bounce licensed it to Netflix. So
yeah,
that's why I be confused, I don't know. I don't know about network stuff, but okay, so it was licensed to Netflix, and so Netflix had it for a certain amount of time, and so they could even license it. I'm not saying they are, but they could license like another network or something like a Hulu or something like that. Then they could be. That's how it kind of works.
yeah. Hey,
Oh,
fingers crossed, or they'll
yeah.
they'll make another deal with Netflix. I wanted to live on somewhere,
Hmm.
and I'm sure they're taking care of it. I know they want to get their money's worth.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
I didn't know that, but okay, that makes sense. So if you have not watched it, make sure you do watch it. I think it's a funny show. It's definitely a comfort show. And as we wrap up, I do want to ask you, well, actually I have two more questions. How do you feel about Black women's stories not getting exposure or like not having as many seasons as some of our other counterpartners?
I feel like we can't give up.
Mm.
As somebody in this business, listen. I have a class called the Comedy Writers Room,
Yeah.
and you can go to my Instagram or whatever and find out more about it. I have a website, afousinthehouse.com. But one of the things in the class we talk about, and why I'm doing the class, is because I feel like more of our stories deserve to be heard,
Mhm.
and we should be the ones telling them. So we can't stop. We can't get frustrated because look, eventually everybody gets canceled. I
Oh.
don't know what's wrong with this dog. Uh, eventually everybody gets canceled, but that doesn't mean we stop telling our stories and take every opportunity to do that.
Mhm.
Whether it's like we, you know, Issa Rae start. If you
Mhm.
start off there, she did filmed her own stuff, or we just keep going in the industry. Um, you got a phone. You can shoot a show on the phone. I just think that they're important. And regardless if they're trending or not, if they're the hot thing or not, I'm sure there'll be another UPN or the way CW started uh, the same way. They'll come back into season or whatever in Vogue. You know, it's everything does that.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean we get frustrated because there's a lack of shows, because there won't be any more shows if we stop.
Mm. Okay, I like that perspective.
Yeah,
I
you
do.
can't give up. Not
Yeah,
in this business.
you give up, then we ain't gonna have no shows.
At all. You
Like,
know?
I just want to say the cast you picked was amazing. Yes, it was. So for people that might be interested in writing or screenwriting, do you have any tips for them? You said they could start on their phone, or that's how they can create. The Issa Rae has the whole short on TikTok now. The reels thing. Do you have any, I guess, advice for people who are looking to maybe write, tell stories, get into that, like get into the industry?
Yeah. Well, for one, take my class. Okay.
Period. Okay.
Do that because I talk about more than just, it takes more than just being a good writer or being funny to survive in a comedy room. But if
Mm,
this is something you want to do, you have to be a ferocious reader. You have to be a fan of the kind of shows you want to write, and you have to write. Just do it.
mm-hmm.
Keep doing it until you get good at it. You can download scripts on the internet and see what the format is. You can get yourself final draft. You can find friends, a writers group with the same kind of people in common. Get a group together, read your script out loud so you know if it's any good.
Mm-hmm.
But follow that passion. Writers are born, they're not made.
Oh, okay.
They get better with education and experience, but there's something about being a writer that in your soul, in your gut, you know you have to do.
Mhm.
Or you're paid for. You have a passion for telling stories. And story is key.
Mhm.
Learn how to do story. Learn story and recognize it because that makes you more valuable to somebody who wants to buy it. Storytellers make money,
Yeah. Okay.
period.
Uh-huh.
In this business. The funny is great. And if you're a great stand up comic, that's fantastic too. But if you decide you want to be a writer, be a stand up comic who knows story.
Oh, okay.
And I wish somebody had told me that earlier. I was a natural storyteller. I didn't realize that without that's what I was doing until I started working. Had
Mhm.
I known though, I'd have come into this business like a beast. I'd
Oh,
have studied, done my homework. I'd have Robert McKee, his book Story and Structure. I'd have studied that, gone to the seminars, do whatever you can to be a strong storyteller.
oh, you would have focused on that more.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Makes sense. Oh, I was gonna say, what happens when the type of shows that you like are no longer the shows that are filming? So sad. Well, what are you doing that? You just got to go to a different genre now. It's so sad.
No, I write the show I want to see.
Oh, okay.
I write, a sample of the kind of show I'd love to see on air.
Mm,
You don't just quit. I have done an hour show before, and I can do that, but I would if even if I did an hour, it would have some comedy to it. I
mm-hmm.
would just rather live there. I would rather live in comedy and optimism than so much drama. And that is not to shit on drama writers. I think they're fantastic. But if I'm flipping the channels or looking through streamers for something I want to see and it's not there, I write it.
Oh, okay.
I live in my imagination a lot and hopefully I'll pitch it to, or somebody will see my spec material and
Mm.
go, "Hey, this is a good idea." But I remain optimistic about the kind you'll be able to find the kind of show you love.
Mhm. I was gonna say drama is really getting popular now, and so now I see a lot of more dramedy. So when you were talking about comedy versus drama, I'm like, I see more dramas now in it. And two writers, it could be like, well, dang, I only can write dramas now. But I see your point, like, no, write that comedy how you want it. But when you see everything is like dramedy, drama, drama, like that's all you see around. That's all that's happening.
That
Um,
mea that means a change is gonna come.
mhm. And
Don't follow the trends. Don't
mm,
do that. Write what inspires you, because again,
mhm,
we need those original stories.
mhm.
And whether it's drama or comedy, go for it.
Yeah,
If you're one of those people who just criticize everything on TV, okay, then do it better.
yeah. Okay,
You
period.
People are working hard to get their show on,
They
and
are.
if you don't like it and you can do it better, prove it to them.
Yeah, okay, prove it to them. Yes, I
Yeah.
like that because at the beginning you're talking about we need more representation or like more I would say versatility with women. Like we see the basketball wives or we seen the Real Housewives, like we see reality TV, we have reality TV, but I actually am you might be talking about me because I'd be like, forget reality TV. Can we get more scripted shows? That's just me. I'd be like, I want more scripted shows, but maybe I need to write them. I don't know. But I'm like, I'm
Or you know what? Even if you don't want to write it or you can't write it, watch the shows you like. They need your numbers. They
like,
need your screens, to keep them on the air. And even if it's a show that's gone,
mhm,
it tells the streamers that this is the kind of stuff we want to see.
mhm.
And it used to be you never knew who a showrunner was. But
Mm,
if you like enough of their shows, then people will like, hey, what else you got?
mhm.
That's how we stick together and see more of our shows. Support the people who do them.
Oh,
Watch it.
mhm. That's definitely true. I do. I'm familiar with it. I be looking at people. I always look up people writers. When you're younger, you don't really think about it. But now that I'm like older, I can understand it. Like I went to Michael Jackson. I'm like, who did this? Who did that? Like I'm like, okay, like you can really look up people's name, like the internet. You can look up everything. You can go on Instagram. You can find anybody. So I actually do kind of do that now. Like, oh, who wrote this? Oh, who did this? This is so cool. So I
Yeah.
love that.
If
This.
you go to
Mhm.
imdb.com, you can see who's behind all the shows you love.
Mhm.
Cast, crew, writers, producers, all of that. If you have any kind of interest in the business, go to IMDb. It's I think it's International Movie Database,
Mhm.
and you can get more info on the shows you love.
Mhm. I did not thank you for saying that because I was like, I don't want to say the acronym wrong. But this is amazing advice for up and coming writers. Yes, it really is. And so as we ended, I do want to just ask you, is there anything that we can look forward to seeing next from you?
Yes, I am working on something that I'm very excited about, and hopefully, uh, we'll hear about it this year.
Oh,
you know.
okay, 2026. We love that. Okay, so you're working on something that we might hear. Okay.
Yes.
That's really cool. And you have your class. It's coming up soon. It's starting soon, I meant.
Yes, the next session is starting this Saturday.
Oh. Oh.
It's 3 Saturdays virtual.
Mhm.
Again, you can go to afouseinthehouse.com. It's
Mhm.
called the Comedy Writers Room with Alyson Fouse, and we have 4 sessions left for the year.
Oh, okay, okay.
Where again, I give you all the inside scoop on what it's like to be in a comedy writers room, how to get there,
Mhm.
how to behave once you're there. We talk about writing and story. And for every session, I have a great guest speaker.
Okay.
Uh, Coming up for the May session is Britt Matt. She was one of the showrunners for Harlem.
Oh,
Yeah, she
okay.
did Harlem and she done some other great things.
I
She's
love
a
Harlem.
fantastic voice.
Mhm.
Um, and then we'll have Gina Yashere, who
Mhm.
who did Bob Hart's Abishola. We'll have Kim Whitley, And then we're going to have Linda Terrick, who's a fantastic comedy director.
Okay.
So go to the website, check it
Mhm.
out, and hopefully meet some new people in class.
Yes, hopefully. Oh, that's what I was gonna say earlier. I was like, are you over the stage? You don't want to travel for work no more? You didn't want to go out of California?
At the time, no, because you know what? It was like it was still COVID-y.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I was like, I want to come home. I got grandkids. I don't need to be, I just didn't want to be far away from home. I've
Oh.
worked out of Atlanta twice. It's been
Mhm,
fantastic. And doing other things, I've had to travel. Doing
mhm.
award shows and stuff like that, I've had to travel. And they treat you great.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Mhm.
But when you're on, it's a long-term show, you want to come home every night,
Oh,
sleep
I
in
see
your
what
own
you're saying.
bed. Yeah.
Oh, because when you film out there, you gotta stay out there and you out there.
Yeah.
Like, I
At
just want to go home and go to bed.
Yeah, at least 2 months at a time.
Mhm.
And that means you're shopping at a strange grocery store and all this kind of stuff, and I love Atlanta.
Mhm.
I never ate better in my life, but I live here. I was born in California. I wanna come home.
I'm cracking up. Yeah, you're like, and by the time you start getting used to it, it's like, well, I'm going back to California now.
Pack up all this stuff I brought and ship boxes back. Yeah, it's the thing. But
Yeah.
not only that, since I've done most of my work here, I know a lot of crew members, and
Mm.
let's be honest, I haven't gone anywhere where they were better than LA crews.
Oh.
Fantastic. There's very little that you have to like compromise about, and they're just on it because this is Hollywood and they've been doing that.
Mhm.
So I want to provide work for people who live near me. It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I love that. That's so good. I was listening to somebody else. She created a show. She was just saying how like her show created like so many jobs. She was like, well, she said it was like 200 people. Like shows create so many jobs for people, and she's like, to be able to employ other people through her show is really really cool. So I think that that is kind of a cool thing. You're like home in California.
Yeah,
Let's get
that's
these people some jobs.
I invited when I was doing Wife and Kids, I invited my mother to set when they were shooting one of my episodes. And
Mm-hmm.
she sat there in wonderment. Like she said, just imagine something you wrote gave all these people a job. And
Mm.
I had never thought about that before. But now that's one of the only things I think about when I'm working on a show or creating a show, that you're going to give like 250 people work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's huge,
Mm-hmm.
especially now.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be like, that's why I'd be like, okay, writers and actors should kind of work together. Cause I'm like, if we don't have no writers, then the actors can't act, and that's jobs. So I'm
Yeah.
like, we should be working together, not like throwing shade to writers or throwing shade to actors. It's like we need to work together so we both can have jobs.
Yeah, and then, you have craft service, you have lighting, you have makeup and hair. Those
Mm-hmm.
are all people have to do every little thing you see on TV.
Yeah.
It's amazing that that many people can collaborate and come together to present a show to you at home, to
Yeah.
entertain the world. And if I ever wrote anything that made you laugh or cry, I'm grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. What a great way to end. Like we are well, you all are employing people with and through entertainment. That's so good. I love that. Well, let them know where they can follow you at, and then we'll kind of end it right there. I really appreciate y'all for joining. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you've never been here before. Hopefully you enjoyed the interview with Alyson. I really appreciate chatting with you. And you can follow us on Black Girls in Podcast on all social medias and let them know where they can follow you.
I am Alyson Fouse everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Threads. What's the other one? TikTok.
Not you on threads.
Yeah. It's just Alyson at Alyson Fouse.
Yes, I'm cracking up. Well, thank you so much for joining. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all next time. We are on live again. This was amazing, ladies. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of y'all night. Make sure y'all like the live, okay? Have a great night.